This is a message for Mark Athitakis, a vile, incorrigible, unremarkable, humorless, and talentless son of a bitch who has been obsessed with me for a number of years. Mark is such a hateful lowlife, a man without a shred of compassion or empathy, that when I had a serious drinking problem 2 years ago, a lifelong problem as a matter of fact, and I decided that I needed to sober up and face this problem, and I have remained largely sober, a couple of beers, maybe a couple of glasses of wine on the weekend, that's all I do. Mark thought that this was the apotheosis of hilarity, me struggling, me flailing, and I was doing this when I did not have a job. Mark, being Mark, wanting to have a bête noire, me, apparently, decided to cozy up to his fellow book critics and ensure that I was suffering. Mark has always done this because he is an insufferable, humorless prick, a joyless fuckhead who will never, ever see his adversaries as human beings. I mean, years ago, when I was leaving a series of jokey comments, clearly humorous comments on his blog, Mark Athitakis did not have the faculties to understand my satirical sense of humor. And what did he do? He not only called the cops on me. I got this phone call from a detective, and the two of us were talking to each other, sort of saying, really? Really? This is about Mark Athitakis? Well, he used this as a pretext with which to incriminate me, because he was another freelance book critic like me, and I was better than he was as a writer and as a thinker. And he didn't like that. He thought that he should get all the plum assignments. There were two editors in particular who I can tell you he persuaded that I was a bad guy. I'm not. I'm really easy to work with. What I do in my writing stays in my writing. I mean, you could say that Mark was planting seeds, a kind of wish fulfillment. This was his form of rivalry. I'm not smart enough, I'm not talented enough, I'm not original enough, I'm not quirky enough to match this Ed Champion guy. Instead, I will just plant seeds here and there. I will become a massive networker, and eventually, everything that I have said about Ed will come to fruition because I have been around. Now, if you have stumbled upon this post, which is essentially a dispute between two aging white guys, you were probably asking yourself, rightly, why in the fuck does this guy, Mark Athitakis, matter? Well, he hasn't for me. I mean, I was very pissed off when he ridiculed me when I was down and out, but I didn't say anything publicly about this fucker. Truth be told, the man has not mattered for me in the slightest. I've been living a happy life. I've managed to get my shit together. I am gainfully employed. I have a job where I'm respected. I have a lovely girlfriend. I am serving as a father figure for her kids. I run an audio drama. Life is going very well for me. I got my drinking under control. I quit smoking a month ago. But the reason I am making this video is because Mark Athitakis is very obsessed with me. Hi, Mark. I know you're watching, and I know you don't have the guts to address me directly, so I am taking the liberty of addressing you directly, telling the people exactly what our relationship is, how you hate my guts, how you need me in order to survive, because you don't have anything positive in your life. I've come across recent photos of you. You and I are the same age, and you easily look 10 or 15 years older than I do. You look like you're almost in your 60s. What the hell is going on with you, man? And Mark, to be fair, I didn't shave for a number of days because I wanted the playing field to be a little level so you can insult me and feel good about yourself about how ugly I look. Look, we're aging, man. Except that you're aging worse than me. But here I am. I'm almost fucking 50. And I still am feeling absolute schadenfreude right now, and I don't want to do that. I started off this video completely insulting you, and I have good reason to. You have been a colossal fucking dick for years. But I also know that you are down and out right now, because your freelancing gigs have dried up, your regular assignments as a book critic have dried up, and now the Los Angeles Times Union has gone on strike, which means that you aren't going to get published in one of the remaining outlets that still publishes you. And right now, you were taking swings at me on Blue Sky, reveling in any kind of rumor about me, any misfortune about me. Why do I live in your head rent-free? Does misery love company? Is that what this is? Mark, I don't want to have anything to do with you, man. I'm not even a book critic anymore. The only book writing I do is my modern library project, and that's my least appreciated project. And I don't fucking care. I do it because I love it. And I think your problem is that you've always resented me because I have always loved writing, and you haven't. I mean, it's there in all of your stiff sentences and your wretched cliches. Let's see how far you've come in 10 years, because I haven't been reading you. Here's a review of Lydia Davis's new one in the LA Times. Let's see. However strange the process, there's plainly pleasure in it for her, and that feeling is infectious across our strangers. This is what your observations are now? These are the sentences you're writing now? I mean, when I was writing for the LA Times more than a decade ago, working with the great editor Orly Lowe, who was one of the best editors I've ever worked with, I'd have these 90-minute telephone conversations with her, arguing for really fun and original language and puns and jokes and that kind of thing, because that's the only reason you would be able to get people curious about books. You've never done that. So I understand why you would fucking hate me. And you know what, Mark? I kept on with the jokes. I should have left you alone. That was totally on me. I should have recognized early on that you and I would never get along. But I kept showing up on your fucking blog, and I kept leaving jokey comments, and there were a number of people who you don't know who were egging me on, who thought the whole thing was hilarious. They thought you were a stiff too. But look, I was a younger man back then. I was a cockier man back then. Jesus Christ, my ego was insufferable. If any of you guys knew me 10 years ago, you would have fucking hated my guts. And Mark Athitakis, I know you hated my guts. But here's the thing. Your idea of me is rooted in a version of me that no longer exists. In a version of me that was also mentally troubled. I had to have a nervous breakdown in order to become more humble, in order to become truer to my voice, because I wanted to be the most clever motherfucker in the room. That is who you are hating, not the me of 2024. You're just looking for anyone to hate right now because you're miserable and you never took a chance in your writing. And you know what, man? I really think that that's sad. You never took a chance. And you hated me because I was always taking chances. And I always rubbed it in your face. But I didn't know any better. I was surprised that editors left and right wanted my writing. I was stunned. I was living the fucking dream, man. But I'm living a better dream right now, and I am not that guy from 2014 that you still cleave to. So I am telling you, Mark, in this message, to let this shit go. It is absolutely not my fault that you have made decisions in your life that you are not happy with, that you have not progressed. That's not my fault. You were looking for anyone to hate, and you can't hate your fellow working book critics right now, because if you do that, you're not going to get jobs. So you look to someone from 10 years ago and you say, fuck that guy. Is he getting into any trouble? I mean, my God, do you understand how sad and pathetic that is? Do you not comprehend that this is the most passive-aggressive, toxic masculinity in the world? Mark, you gotta grow up. You gotta let me go. You have to stop obsessing about me. You have to stop thinking about me. You have to let me go. I'm not that guy. I don't know what guy you think I am. We're never going to be friends. We're never going to be colleagues. We're never going to like each other. So I am releasing you. Like, feel free to rail about this video. Feel free to criticize everything I have to say. Bring up all the bad behavior I did 10 years ago. I really don't fucking care. But you have got to let me go. You have got to stop obsessing about me and worry about yourself and your family and your friends and the people who love you. That's what I've done. That's the priority that I have in my life. And I'm telling you, man, I'm so fucking happy, and I'm doing some of the best fucking writing of my life. I don't care about an audience. I care about my art. And I hope that one day you will find it within yourself to do the same, to cultivate a voice. You don't need me, man. You need yourself. And you've allowed this bad blood to spill over so that I'm being bad. I don't want to be bad, man. You're making me bad by trying to drag me into a fucking dispute. So, okay, you dragged me in. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you what a fucking asshole you've been. And I'm also extending some empathy here and telling you, you gotta let me go. You've gotta be the best Mark Athitakis you can be. You don't need me. You need yourself. And only you have that answer as to who that guy is. And really, man, for all of the animosity that you and I have had, I really, truly, sincerely wish you luck in your journey. But leave me out of it. It's not me. It's you.